So if you're building with AI, you want an expert model, right? Of course you do. And the go-to method we all hear about, the one everyone talks about, is fine-tuning. But what if that whole approach isn't just a little off? What if it's actually a dangerous trap that could completely derail your entire AI strategy?
Okay, let's really get into this. The common wisdom sounds so simple, doesn't it? You take a big, general AI, you feed it your own special data, and boom, you've got a specialist. But, is it really that straightforward? Let's unpack why this might just be one of the riskiest assumptions you can possibly make.
So why is everyone so obsessed with fine-tuning in the first place? Well, it's because the promise, it's incredibly compelling. It really feels like the AI equivalent of waving a magic wand.
And look, the logic, it makes perfect sense on the surface. You want an AI that's an expert in, say, cybersecurity and GDPR? Simple. Just feed it all your internal documents. It's kind of like taking a brilliant student and putting them through a super intense crash course on your company's most important stuff. They're going to come out an expert, right? Well, not so fast.
Because this is exactly where the fairy tale starts to fall apart. The moment you peek behind the curtain, you find this whole series of hidden dangers that can turn your AI dream into a total nightmare. So let's dive into the dark side of fine-tuning.
So here's the most crucial point. We don't really understand how fine-tuning works deep inside the model. We can see that it learns new things, but we can't see the process. It's like giving someone the keys to your house, but you have absolutely no idea what they're actually doing inside. You can't trust what you can't see. And with fine-tuning, you're basically flying blind.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. The maintenance problem. Your company's knowledge is always changing, right? New regulations pop up, policies evolve. With fine-tuning, every single update is like adding another tangled wire to an already messy system. And eventually, you're just left with this ticking time bomb of technical debt, and you have no clue which wire to cut.
And that image really drives home the security risk. There's research showing that once a model learns certain behaviors, it can be almost impossible to completely get rid of them. Think about it. You could have malicious instructions just hiding in your training data, waiting for the right prompt to set them off. It's a silent backdoor you can't see and you definitely can't patch.
So let's just recap the 5 horsemen of the fine-tuning apocalypse here. First, you've got massive security risks from all these hidden behaviors. Second, you rack up technical debt with every single update. Third, it's wildly cost inefficient because you constantly have to restart from scratch. Fourth, you get locked into one model, so you miss out on newer, better, cheaper ones. And maybe worst of all, any sensitive data you use gets permanently baked right into the model.
Okay, so if fine-tuning is a trap, how do we get out of it? Well, the answer is actually surprisingly simple. We stop trying to change the model itself, and instead we just get way smarter about how we talk to it.
This right here is the big philosophical shift. Instead of trying to cram knowledge into a black box, we put our energy into building a system that can give the perfect context to an off-the-shelf model, right at the moment you need it. We're basically mastering the art of the ask.
So this new architecture, it stands on 3 main pillars. First, you treat LLMs like they're interchangeable parts. You just use the best one for the job at hand. Second, you build all your expert knowledge into a structured, easy-to-search knowledge graph. And third, you have a dynamic prompter that acts like a translator, pulling the perfect context from your graph to answer any question.
This analogy is just perfect. A fine-tuned model is like forcing a student to memorize an entire library. It's impossible. This approach, on the other hand, is like building a brilliant librarian who knows every book, every shelf, and can bring you the exact right pages the moment you ask. You get all the expertise with none of the black box risk.
Now this smart librarian isn't just some clever idea, it's a practical reality. Let's take a look at the open source tools that can actually help you build one yourself. So, what's the secret weapon behind our smart librarian? Well, meet mgraphDB. Think of it as the high-octane engine that powers this entire new approach. It's a graph database built from the ground up for Gen AI applications.
So what makes mgraphDB so special? Well, for one, it's lightning fast. It lets you build and query your knowledge graph in real time. And what that means is you can give your AI the perfect context instantly without any lag. It's the key to building those dynamic prompts on the fly. And honestly, here's the best part. You don't need to be some coding genius to build your own knowledge graph. With just a few simple lines of Python, just like you see here, you can start connecting ideas and building out your AI's external brain. It's really that easy.
So what does all this mean for the future? Well, it means we're moving away from building these brittle black box AIs, and instead we're creating resilient, transparent systems that will actually stand the test of time.
I mean, when you look at it side by side, the choice is pretty clear, isn't it? On one hand, you have a black box full of hidden risks and limitations. On the other, you've got a transparent, secure, and future-proof system that puts you in control. And get this, updates happen in real time just by changing the graph. No retraining needed.
And this is the financial game changer. It's like having a whole team of specialized assistants. You wouldn't ask your best strategist to go make coffee, would you? Multi-model orchestration is all about using the right tool for the right job, routing simple tasks to cheaper models and saving the big powerhouse models for the really complex work.
And we are not talking about small savings here. Projects like Agent Tickflow have shown that a smart multimodal router can cut your costs by 85 to 99%. Seriously. By avoiding that fine-tuning lock-in and just using the right model for the job, the economic benefits are just massive.
So we come right back to this core idea. The future of building expert AI systems isn't about trying to alter the models themselves. It's about building a sophisticated, transparent layer around them that gives them the exact context they need to perform brilliantly every single time.
And that really leaves us with one final question to think about. As you're building out your own AI capabilities, are you creating a black box that's filled with hidden risks and technical debt? Or are you architecting a transparent, flexible, and controllable system for the long haul? Because the choice you make today will absolutely define your agility, your security, and your costs for years to come.